Urban Artificial Intelligence, Strategic Thinking Media Platform. Charlamagne the guy going crazy on Drake, and he won't smoke with Rory from Rory and Mal podcast. Hey, I want to say this, man. If y'all haven't noticed this, if y'all didn't notice, Charlamagne and Drake don't like each other, man. They've had a long history of beefing. Charlamagne, he liked to play and joke around and crack jokes. I'm gonna tell y'all something that I noticed at the beginning of Drake's career. Charlamagne really never liked this dude, man. Charlamagne did not like Drake. He thought Drake was corny. He thought he was whack. He thought Drake was a gimmick, and he never really liked him. They've exchanged shots a lot, y'all, over the past years. Charlamagne went through some type of rebrand where he stopped with the super offensive jokes. He stopped with the super aggressive jokes and the super aggressive arguing and bickering and things like that. And during that time is kind of when he cooled off. I noticed that. I noticed he just didn't talk about Drake, man. He didn't have a lot good to say about him. So he just stopped talking about Drake. When he went into that rebranding, the mental health, being calm, not yelling, not, making people feel uncomfortable. He went through that whole thing and he stopped talking about Drake for a minute. He would only talk about Drake when he absolutely had to, and he would keep it short. He wouldn't really give his opinions on anything because he didn't like Drake. He didn't want to say anything mean. He didn't want to say anything rude. But recently, he just said, fuck it, man. He went all the way in on Drake. And he also won't smoke with Rory from the Rory and Mal podcast. Now, we going to look at both of these clips, man. We're going to look at what Rory said, and then we're going to look at what Charlamagne replied back to him. Charlamagne took shots at Rory. Now, he didn't say his name, and I'm gonna go even further. He took shots at Mal too. Charlamagne is ready to engage Rory and Mal. He's ready, and they've always had a rocky relationship. I remember when either Charlamagne went on one of Joe Budden's early episodes, or Joe went on the flagrant early episode with Charlamagne and Andrew Schultz, and he was going at Rory the whole time. Joe was like pitting them against each other. He was pitting Rory and Parks against Andrew Schultz, just making little slight jokes. And it seemed like it was all fun and games, but nah, it wasn't, man. Rory and Charlamagne just don't like each other. They haven't gotten along. And this was the perfect situation for Charlamagne to shoot at Drake and hit whoever was around defending Drake. And look who it happened to be, Rory, a nigga that he already don't like. So this lined up perfectly, and it worked out well for Charlamagne, and it was very entertaining. Now, Rory had a Spaces talk with Glasses Malone, a West Coast legend, a legendary West Coast rapper. Him and Glasses Malone was talking about how does UMG lawsuit that Drake is doing, how it's going to affect Drake. Glasses Malone said Drake is a bitch. He said he's doing it for all the wrong reasons. He said he's doing it because he's mad that he lost, and he just hating on Not Like Us. Rory had a different point of view. All right, Rory is basically saying, even if that is the case, what Drake is doing is good. Taking on the big record labels, the big DSPs, that is going to be what Rory is referring to as, Drake going up against the machine, man. He's doing something that nobody else has done. Even if he's doing it for personal reasons, it's still going to be some good that's going to come out of this. Glasses Malone didn't see it that way. They had a good dialogue. So let's get into that right now. I'm going to play that clip now.
With
I thought
Rory, if he would use his own shit, I would be all in. I'd be all in if he was like, y'all know what y'all did for me. Y'all made it. You cannot convince me this is a him against the industry thing. If it was, he would sacrifice himself.
he's about to
Oh
sacrifice
no.
Why would
himself
he?
because he's about to prove that he's used bots before too.
If that was the case,
But
he wouldn't be
when it
bringing
comes,
up someone else's
yes,
record.
yes,
Rory.
Okay, Rory,
He
do you
would
think
bring up
he's
his
pulling
own
out that
record.
spade? You think he's pulling that spade out if it comes down to that?
It's
I
already
think the
come
red
down to it.
button.
Why do
I
you need to
think the
bring that
red
out?
button. I think the red button Drake was talking about this
Was
entire
himself
time
the
was
kamikaze?
this. Yo, bro, I will tell
Kamikaze.
everybody we all use bots. I will sacrifice myself. This shit is over. I
Then
promise to
why
show you.
hasn't he?
This is over.
Nigga
It
filed the
start.
This
It's
is
lawsuit.
starting
all a
now. It
facade.
started. It
This is
started on
He's
bullshit.
not
Monday.
starting now. He's still talking about someone else.
So you're saying this was God's plan? I'm playing. I'm
Nah,
playing.
It
you
was
get
always
you get
God's plan
tomatoes
to
for
show the
that one. That
universe
shit
was
was
a liar.
ass.
Yeah, put the
Yeah,
fries in
come
the, put
on.
the fries in the
Gave
bag.
Fries in
he
the bag
gave
for that one, my nigga.
Yeah, put the fries in the
he
bag,
gave
man.
everyone in
That
Miami
was trash.
$20,000. Like, come on,
Rory, come on,
Yo, Rory, you gonna follow a nigga back or what, bro?
glasses. What am I wrong about?
Rory, because you know he would know how
Nigga
to
did not
do this.
respond.
Yo, Chris, put the fries in the
That nigga
bag,
said,
bro.
"Hey man,
Fries
yo
back.
Put the
man,
Alright.
fries
I
in
ain't
the
gonna
bag, man.
lie. This lawsuit though, that shit crazy."
Hey, them fries though, nigga.
No, I'm really waiting.
Oh, go ahead, glasses. Go ahead. Go
Glasses. What
ahead.
do you think I'm
I
wrong about
said
with
it's
this?
not wrong, Rory, but you know his paperwork. Or you know better than anybody, just like I know. His budgets would show whatever is happening. So he wouldn't need to
No.
compel anyone to do it. He can actually do it if he wanted to, if that was the goal.
Hey, y'all join the
And
Discord
my
too.
thing
Join the
is,
Discord,
if he
niggas.
wants to sacrifice himself for his own selfish reasons,
Then why won't he
I'm
sacrifice
here for
himself?
it because we are all getting fucked
But I'm
in
saying,
this
Rory, why?
DSP
Whoa.
But
industry.
I'm saying,
So let's do it.
but I'm saying, Rory, why won't he sacrifice himself then?
He's about
No,
to.
he's not. He's trying to
You,
sacrifice
you
another record. He's saying the
whoa, whoa, whoa.
reason
All
He's
this
right.
is
trying to
happening to
sacrifice
me.
Kendrick, but he's saying that the
So, all
spade,
right.
if it doesn't
No,
work,
no.
is
It's
tough.
all right.
Rory know what I'm saying.
It's a petition, right? So if it ends up being a real lawsuit, at some point, if Universal actually entertains this and doesn't settle with Drake, because I do think he's in the middle of a negotiation and trying to get his money and using this as a play. If they end up going to trial, everyone's gonna have to turn over everything
Yeah,
within this civil lawsuit.
100%.
Exactly.
So he's gonna have to sacrifice himself because
So
he
then why
knows,
is it
like all of us
But that,
knows, that Drake has used bots like
every
everyone
but
last
else has
Rory,
used
you
nigga?
bots.
just said it. That's
I
why it will
know.
not go to court.
Well, we already know that, but we
They
already know
know.
that.
They know the
No,
proof
and
is in the
no,
pudding. They
no.
gonna sell out.
And I think I know none of you guys want to give Drake any credit at this moment. I think Drake is prepared to say, fuck it, let me push that red button and expose myself and expose everybody else. None of this shit is real.
Now, Glasses Malone had some good points there, man. He was basically saying, and y'all heard the clip for yourself, but he was saying if Drake wanted to do this, if he wanted to take on UMG, if he wanted to change the game, if he wanted to take on the DSPs and, blow the top off of the whole music industry because of all the bullshit they've been doing, he could have done it without involving anybody else. If that was his true intention, Glasses Malone thinks he mad that he lost the battle. So the Drake fans are using that as an excuse. They're saying, "Oh, well, he's doing this. It's bigger than Kendrick. It's bigger than Kendrick." Glasses Malone isn't buying that. He doesn't feel like it's bigger than Kendrick. All right? He feel like Kendrick is the reason for this lawsuit. He wants to hurt Kendrick. He wants to hurt UMG, and he don't care how he looked to the general public. Now, Ma has been defending Drake a lot too. He sat down with the guys from Earn Your Leisure, and he was speaking on some different things, and he was basically saying this is bigger than Kendrick as well. Now, and I want to say this, man. When Drake fan, I'm a Drake fan myself. You know what I'm saying? I like Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is a great rapper, but I will never listen to Kendrick Lamar as much as I listen to Drake. I still think Kendrick Lamar won. I still think Not Like Us is great. I still think GNX is great, but I am a Drake fan. And I want to say this. When people say, like myself, I said this before too, I've said it in my content. Y'all can go back and take a look. When we say this is bigger than Kendrick Lamar, we don't mean the battle didn't happen. We don't mean this is bigger than the battle. Let me put that out there. Let me make that clear. That's not what we're saying. We don't think this is bigger than the battle. The battle is over. Drake has lost. This is something different. So when we say this is bigger than Kendrick Lamar, we're not trying to downplay the battle. All right, we're not copping pleas. It is what it is. But let's get the Charlamagne clip.
Whatever the label UMG was doing to promote, Not Like Us, they were doing the same thing for you your whole career. Okay, if one of those diss records you put out would have taken off and been a cultural phenomenon like Not Like Us, the record label would have pushed that too. How would you be clowning Kendrick right now if Kendrick said, UMG, you didn't have to let Drake put that record out accusing me of beating my lady. You didn't have to let Drake put that record out saying my child isn't really mine. I'm trying to get you to see why you look like a complete and total sucker, Drake. Okay, not to mention, once again, you are a huge artist, but don't believe your own hype too much because those same tricks you are accusing UMG of doing for Not Like Us, they have done for you your whole career. There was a time when Drake was on the cover of every playlist on the browser page of Spotify. Okay, they did it with Apple too. I think it was called Scorpion Season or something like that. And he took over multiple playlists on the same day. All I'm saying, Aubrey, is stop acting like you haven't been the beneficiary of record label technology. Okay, you being a whole hoe simply because you lost. Simply because Kendrick Lamar kicked your ass lyrically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And anybody acting like this is anything more than Drake's feelings being hurt, you a hoe too. A OV hoe to be exact. Okay? He's fighting the same war that Michael Jackson fought. Drake is taking a stand for the art and the artists. People who are running with that narrative would hold Drake's penis while he pees and shake it for him when he's finished. Okay, Drake has been handling this terribly since Not Like Us dropped. And please, let's keep this in mind. Drake, you're in this position because you tapped out. Okay, you chose to tap out after you heard Not Like Us. Kendrick dropped too much tune for your head top. Okay, he gave you Euphoria, 616 in LA, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us. It was too much for you because you didn't have to tap out after the Hard Part 6. You could have went in the studio and gave us a bop. You the bop guy. You could have got with some ghostwriters, went in the studio and wrote a hit to combat Not Like Us, but you chose not to. You tapped out. Kendrick won, and he told you to squabble up, not lawyer up, but you chose to get the lawyers because you lost the squabble. Please give Aubrey Drake Graham the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
You are the donkey of the day. You are the donkey of the day. Yeehaw.
And I'm going to tell Drake exactly, what I've been telling him since the summer. Take a break. Go away. Let nostalgia bring you back. People will miss you. You see what J. Cole is doing. People don't even care. He tapped out of the rap battle anymore.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's taking folks down memory lane with the audio scripted series he's doing. He got the 10-year anniversary of Forest Hill Drives coming in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just announced Dreamville.
Just announced Dreamville Fest. Like, yo, nostalgia will bring you back. You have that much history in the game, Drake. But right now, you need to take a break because this Kendrick tidal wave ain't stopping.
Now, that was crazy, man. That's the old Charlamagne right there. That's the old Charlamagne. That's the Charlamagne that got him to where he is today in media, man. The disrespectfulness, the going in, being passionate about rap and hip hop. I think Charlamagne has always felt this way, man. I think Charlamagne, the guy, did not expect Drake to be around this long. That's why he used to pop so much shit at Drake. Okay, and he's not the only one who felt that way. I think when people seen Wayne ushering Drake in, they kind of thought, man, this guy's got hot off of Wayne. He's making his biggest songs with Wayne. He needs Wayne around him. He needs to constantly just shout YMCMB all the time, and he'll never have a lane for himself. He'll be a YMCMB artist for a couple years. He'll make some big records, then he'll go away. That's what Charlamagne thought. That's why he was popping off so much, because you notice as long as Drake has been around, the longer Drake stayed around, the more quiet Charlamagne got. Charlamagne was doing interviews on Drake early in his career. He was talking about Drake on the radio nonstop. He was bringing up Drake and how corny he thought Drake was to other rappers on the show. Him and DMX had a whole conversation about how they thought Drake was whack. So Charlamagne definitely was in that space because I don't think he thought Drake would be the top rapper for 10 or 15 years, but that came to fruition. That's what happened. Now something happened to Drake to kind of turn the tables, and Charlamagne can get back in his bag, popping shit. Hey, he is a media legend, so he can do what he wants, man. If that's how he feel, he can say it. Now, I don't agree with everything that Charlamagne is saying. I mean, if it is a company, Drake owns a company, OVO is a company, he's a billion-dollar entity. Charlamagne has sent cease and desist to people for slandering his name when they talked about certain things that he felt like he didn't want attached to his name. He threatened to sue them, and that's kind of what Drake is doing. I know it's a rap beef, but at the end of the day, y'all, it is business tied into this. And like I said in my last video, y'all, we don't know how these allegations I've heard Drake on the back end. Maybe we'll figure that out. The petition is signed. It's not a lawsuit yet, but the petition is a gathering of information. It's a gathering of facts before you file a lawsuit. So maybe we'll see how this hurt Drake, how it impacted his career. Either way, man, Charlamagne, he's standing 10 toes down. He calling Drake a straight hoe which is crazy. I expect Drake to answer back. I also expect Rory and Mal to answer back, man. They not just gonna sit by idle with this. Even if they just, touch on it a little bit or say a couple things, they're gonna say something back. He kind of went in and he specifically, and we knew he was talking about Rory because he specifically said what Rory said. When Rory said he's doing the Michael Jackson thing, he's fighting for the artist. That's kind of the energy that Rory had. Charlamagne wants smoke with Rory and Mal. He don't give a fuck which one. He used to kind of be cool with Mal a little bit, but now I think he threw that to the wind. He threw caution to the wind. He's saying, fuck it, I'm going in specifically at you, Rory. If Mal want to reply, Mal can get it too. And man, once these three rather engage and start going back and forth, I think it's gonna be fun to watch. I'm gonna be real, but I want y'all to get in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about this, man. Is this a new thing? Is this gonna be Drake versus Charlamagne now? We already see how Joe Budden feels. Joe Budden let his feelings out early in the battle. It was very clear that Joe Budden was happy about what was happening to Drake. He was excited to see the fall of Drake. I'm getting that type of energy from Charlamagne too. I don't know. Maybe I'm off. Y'all get in the comments to let me know. I feel like Charlamagne has just been kind of sitting around waiting for something like this to happen. He wanted Kendrick to beat Drake. He wanted to be able to pop shit about Drake. And he's happy that Drake is kind of making weird decisions during this whole thing, man. Get in the comments. Let me know, man. Do y'all think Rory and Mal going to respond to Charlamagne? Do you think Drake is going to respond to Charlamagne? He went in on it, though, man. He went crazy, man. Urban Artificial Intelligence, strategic thinking media platform. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace.